And before we dive in, I'm happy to welcome and grateful to have District 3 Councilwoman Rebecca Viagran, who has a few words to share with us. Councilwoman.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Rebecca Viagran, and I'm the City Council member proudly serving District 3, the South and the Southeast side of San Antonio. I'd like to thank you for joining the Department of Arts and Culture's virtual community engagement about the Bloom series. These are very different times, and so we're grateful for your participation. This meeting is about the Bloom installment of oversized steel flowers in my district that will be located at Southside Lions Park. And they will be, for almost 70 years, Southside Lions Park has been a place where the community can gather, can fish, to enjoy the outdoors with fresh air, sunshine, exercise. And plus, now we have the stunning views of our Salado Creek, the natural flowing springs, our scenic trails, our dog park, and so many others. And soon, with your help, a new public art installation for all of us to appreciate and to create new memories. I encourage you all to please give your input to the Department of Arts and Culture and help us as we plant and bloom new ideas and a vibrant public art space in Southside Lions Park for the present and the future of our entire city and our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman, and good evening, everyone. My name is Bianca Alvarez, and I am the Public Art Project Manager for the Southside Lions Park Bloom Series number 5 project. This presentation will be made available on our website following the event, and I am here tonight with our gracious virtual co-host, Blue Star Contemporary, who has a few words to share with us.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mary Heathcott. I'm the Executive Director of Blue Star Contemporary, and it's my pleasure to virtually welcome you to Blue Star tonight. We're very honored to partner with our friends from the city of San Antonio, as well as our District 3 friends, because we would like to see public art bloom everywhere in San Antonio. We certainly believe that it's better for us all as a collaborative partner of the city of San Antonio through public art in the past. It's something that we truly believe in. Additionally, you may notice that Bianca is sitting in front of some artworks by Cesar Martinez. Cesar Martinez is this year's honorary artist of Red Dot, which we currently have the Red Dot show available for visitors through Sunday. And so I want to give a little plug to the 131 artists. Cesar is a part of that group whose work is currently on view at Blue Star Contemporary. And we would love to welcome you sometime before Sunday. Thank you so much for letting us be a part of it. Thank you, Bianca.
Thank you, Mary. I'm going to take a minute here to wait for the presentation to come up. Next slide, please. Next slide. There we go. So here's Blue Star's information. Please be sure to call and make an appointment to visit. They've got lots of great work up right now. Next slide. Okay, so throughout tonight's presentation, you can send questions directly to the Department of Arts and Culture by clicking on the chat icon on the bottom of your screen. Please make sure that it says it to everyone so that we can see your questions. We can chat in both English and Spanish, although I didn't see anybody needed Spanish translations. But if a message is written in English, we will address it in English, and if it's written in Spanish, we will answer in Spanish. We will do our best to respond to your questions before the end of this meeting, and if we do not address your questions during this time, we will be sure to follow up afterwards. Next slide. Now let's get to the project. Today we're looking at the Expanding Bloom series with a message from our artist, Leticia Huerta, and talking about next steps and answering your questions. Slide. But first, what is public art? The Department of Arts and Culture defines public art as art in a public place that's been through a public engagement process to determine where the art will be placed, who the artist will be, and what will be the inspiration or themes of the art. Every project is approved by our San Antonio Arts Commission, is managed by a public art project manager like myself, and usually paid with public funds. Next slide. Every public art project goes through a rigorous process that includes stakeholder and community engagement and approvals for locations and designs from our Public Art Committee in San Antonio Arts Commission, all before moving to fabrication and installation. We celebrate the completion of each project with a dedication ceremony that is open to everyone. Right now, we're at the complete community engagement for design stage of the process, where we need your help in determining what the art will look like before the artist begins design. Slide. Just a little background. The Department of Arts and Culture has been working closely with the Parks and Rec Department to enhance local parks and greenways with public art. The Linear Creekway System Strategy's goal is to increase neighborhood connectivity, create a visual identity for the linear creeks, and to place more art on greenway trails. Pictured here are a few examples of public art you'll find in parks and along the trails. Next slide. As one of the public art projects within the Linear Creekway System Strategy, here we're looking at the original installation in the Bloom series, which was completed in January 2019 and installed at Mud Creek at McAllister Park. The concept and design of the oversized metal flowers was conceived by San Antonio artist Leticia Huerta, who will speak about her artwork soon, her inspiration, and share a bit about herself. Also pictured are images of the native flora that inspired the sculpture's design. As part of our public art process, those flowers were selected through our SA Speak Up community engagement survey, which is the same approach for the upcoming location we're looking at today. Next slide. Given the positive reception of the original installation at McAllister Park, the strategy for growing the series to a system-wide concept was presented and approved by the city's Public Art Committee and San Antonio Arts Commission in June 2019. Since then, the Department of Arts and Culture has been working closely with the Parks and Rec Department to identify locations along the Linear Creekway system. So this is the full map of all present and future Bloom locations, with the first installation complete in January 2019 at McAllister Park. We have the Riverwalk in District 1 and Brazos Pocket Park in District 5 set for completion in spring 2021. Eisenhower Park in District 8 for summer 2021. Today's focus, which is Southside Lions Park in District 3 in fall 2021, and for completion in 2022, we have District 1, Farias Park, and the Tezel Road Community Facility in District 6. So we will revisit with the community for input on each of the remaining locations, asking which flowers you'd like to see planted in your neighborhood area. Next slide. So as I mentioned, today's location we're focusing on is Southside Lions Park. So here is an image of the trailhead where the flowers will be planted. The park features multi-use trails, a community center, softball fields, a tennis facility, a lake, and so much more. Next slide. So our goal is to plant 3 unique bloom flowers at the Southside Lions trailhead. Each sculpture is uniquely comprised of oversized bicycle parts to create the shape of the flower, speaking to cyclists and trail enthusiasts. With markers denoting height, the steel stems are engineered to withstand flood zones while functioning as a tool for measurement during inclement weather. And through our survey, we need your help in identifying which flowers you'd like to see here. Next slide. In the very first round of community engagement for this series, 72% of participants stated that it was important for the art to connect to the region's flora. So these native flowers were selected as options in our Essay Speak Up online survey. 3 out of the 4 flowers pictured here will be selected for the design of Bloom at Southside Lions Park. The options are Turk's Cap, Mealy Blue Sage, Pink Evening Primrose, and 4 Nerve Daisy. Next slide. By visiting the links on this slide, you can give your input on which flowers you'd like to see at Southside Lions Park. So please take our survey on SurveyMonkey or by visiting our website. It is also available in Spanish as well, and the links will be provided in the chat for you. Please note that the window to provide feedback through the survey or in a direct email to myself closes on October 9th. We will post a final report of community input on our website by October 16th. Attendees will receive a follow-up email with this information and more detailed instructions. Next slide. Here we are looking at a high-level project schedule with community engagement completion in October 2020, moving to design in the new year, with fabrication in the summer of 2021 and installation and dedication in fall 2021. Next slide. Before we begin with the question and answer portion of today's conversation, please enjoy this message from our Bloom artist, Leticia Huerta. And as mentioned earlier, if you're joining us by phone, there may be some audio outage and you will not be able to hear the video. We appreciate your patience with us and ask that you stay tuned in.
Hello, I'm Leticia Huerta, artist of the Bloom Projects. I am a San Antonio native. I received my BFA in painting here at UTSA and my MFA in Dallas at SMU. And while I was at SMU, I also interned at the Dallas Office of Cultural Affairs, where I was introduced to public art. The first public art project that I worked on there in Dallas was with the Dallas Rapid Transit System at 3 of their light rail stations on their starter line in the early 1990s. It was my first experience working in public art and working with a design team and meeting with the community to gather information that would inform our design process, much as we're doing today. In Dallas, I was working also as a studio artist, exhibiting locally around the state and in the US as well, while continuing to work still for DART and the public art projects there. I moved back home in 1999 and began working on projects here in San Antonio while also teaching at UTSA, at SAC, Incarnate Word. I did that for a few years. So some of my projects here in town include the Woodlawn Lake Project, the UTSA Downtown Project, and University Hospital, and Robert B. Greene, the Downtown Clinic. I also worked on projects throughout Texas, California, North Carolina, and Arizona. And if you want to check out some of my projects, please visit my website. It's just my name, leticiahuerta.com. So the Bloom series began a few years ago when I was selected to work on the project at Mud Creek Trail, which is within McAllister Park. It's a hike and bike trail. And as we went in for the site visit and walked around the trail, I was immediately struck by the beauty of the wildflowers. And so I knew that my concept for this project had to be about them. And so eventually the design became about the wildflowers and bicycles, or the bicycle parts that also to me have an organic feel, and that they have circular parts and kind of resemble flowers. So I synthesized the two into the design that you see at Mud Creek in McAllister Park. If you haven't seen them, I think they're on this presentation. So the sculptures also serve as a wayfinding element in that they guide you to the entrance of the trailhead. And the stems on these sculptures have text and lines that tell you about flooding in the area, and which is very important because it is in a floodplain. So my goal overall as a public artist is to create meaningful and inspiring work in spaces that are visited by people for many different types of reasons. Some are transit stations, so you're there briefly, parks, hospitals, schools, or bridges. Each project is different and is inspired by the community, the culture, the environment, the history. The materials vary within each project because of its location or whatever it happens to be, like a bridge or a wall or whatever it is. And in this project, in the Bloom series, I continue to use all of the knowledge and experience that I have in public art, and I will continue to use the wildflower and the bicycle as my inspiration for the projects. And I look forward to reading your comments or hearing your comments to guide me in the design of these new sculptures. Thank you so much.
Oops, sorry. Now we are ready to take your questions. Please send questions by clicking on the chat icon on the bottom of your screen. As a reminder, please make sure that it says to everyone so that we can see your questions. And we will take a couple of minutes to allow time for you to submit your thoughts and questions. And okay, so we have a question submitted, and the question is, are these plants native to the area, and are they different from the ones already installed at McAllister Park? So the answer is yes, these plants are native to the area. They were, the list of native flowers was created by our Parks and Rec department, and they will be different from the ones already at McAllister. And as a matter of fact, all of the flowers will be different for all 7 locations. We received another question. What material will the project be made of? So the sculptures are made out of steel, and the flower tops are painted. Yes, so the colorful portion on the top, all the petals, that will be painted steel. The question was, are they painted? What is, another question, what is the average height? The average height of each flower is between 12 to 14 feet tall, with the flower tops ranging between 3 to 5 feet wide. Okay, and that wraps up the Q&A. Thank you for your questions. We're very excited about this blossoming project, pun intended. And I do want to share that the recorded video of the session will be available on our website on October 5th. So if you want to watch it again, or even better, share it with your neighbors and friends who couldn't make it tonight, please tell them to visit our website. We appreciate you and your participation. Feel free to reach me with any further comments or questions by October 9th. My contact information is on the screen. My email is bianca.alvarez@sanantonio.gov, and my phone number is 210-207-6963. Next slide. And that concludes this evening's conversation. Stay safe and be well. Thank you to our virtual co-host, Blue Star Contemporary. Good night.